What is cracking, beautiful people? Life and Lift podcast back in action. Today is actually going to be a bit of a speed run episode. Your boy has a lot of shit to do and he's running a little bit behind, but nonetheless, getting an episode out. I did not complete the episode last week, so shit was I just didn't prioritize it, to be honest. I had a lot of other things that was happening in life and I just did not prioritize getting a podcast episode out. But this is a perfect example of this week's episode. I'm talking about consistency. Now, contrary to belief, I have to set this as the tone before we get into the episode. A lot of people believe that consistency is never missing. However, that's not true. Consistency is about sticking to something as much as possible, but also having the ability to be able to bounce back. No one, I'm telling you, no one, maybe there's one, or maybe I can count people on my hands, I can probably count the amount of people on my fingers who don't stuff up and stick to the plan at all times. But even in some degree of their life, I'm sure they do. The difference that separates the people that are successful and the people that aren't are how quickly you're able to bounce back. So last week I missed the episode. So this week, making my mission to get the episode out. Simple, easy as. Bounce back on routine, back on the structure, back to seeing progress and growth with the poddy. Before we jump into this one, life update. In case you are not watching the video, I will explain it. So for those watching on Spotify video and on YouTube, you see what I'm pointing at right now. Maybe I'll just cuck all the audio listeners and they can just, how's that? Oh, that is sick, yeah. I've also got shirts, long sleeves. I won't cuck the audio listeners. So pretty much, I'm wearing a Strength Effect X Nike branded hat. So I've went out and I've gone through this Melbourne brand who are affiliates of Nike. They're called Pacific Sports Team, and I've basically got Strength Effect merch made with Nike clothing and the Nike tick. So it's Nike affiliated Strength Effect branding. It's fucking gangster. If you want some, I'll put the link in the show notes, or I will be putting it in my Instagram bio as well. So either or, you can go buy some from there. I don't actually make any profit off it. Like, it's just purely because it looks fucking sick. If you want to go support me and get around the brand, it looks cool. Like, my branding's actually sick looking. It's not some gay ass. Not that being gay is bad, but some bad looking shit. It actually looks cool in my opinion. So if you want to get it, show notes on my Instagram bio, or DM me directly and I can send you the link, either or. Other than that, pretty much I've just been sending it. I've been getting back into routine. I actually had a couple of days of my deficit where I was just non-existent, which is very rare for me. I just completely fell off the wagon and ate way over my calorie goal. And I guess I'm sharing this just to also give you guys a little bit of understanding that even the best of us don't always stick to the plan. But once again, it comes back to being able to bounce back. But in this podcast, I'm going to run you through the steps that you need to be consistent. It takes a little bit of inspiration from Atomic Habits. It takes a little bit of inspiration from my own personal sort of experiences. But we're going to kick off with the number one thing, the step number one to being consistent, and that is starting small. Start small, win big. It's not about coming hard out of the gates and nailing, 5 to 7 days of training per week. It's about becoming the person who trains consistently. For you, that might be 2 days to start, and that does not matter. What matters is actually just establishing and becoming the human and the individual who shows up on a consistent basis. So 5 sessions a week for 2 weeks is much worse than doing 2 sessions a week for 2 years. The two sessions a week is going to yield you much greater progress, and you will actually be able to progress. The 5 sessions for 2 weeks is going to get you fuck all, except sore for a couple of days and then you'll be done. So you're better off starting out easier and finding something that's actually manageable. This is like so applicable for everything as well. If you want to get shredded and starting that, or if you want to tone up and lean up, starting that nutritional change is if you go too hard out of the gates, you will probably never be able to make the long-term changes necessary to see progress. Results take time. No matter how good of a plan you follow, it has to be a plan that can be done consistently. Adaptation takes time in anything. In building muscle, in losing fat, in gaining strength, in making money, in building relationships, it takes consistent effort over a long term. So aim to be 1% better each time and just meet yourself where you're at when you're starting out. Number 2, long-term mindset over short-term hacks. We want to be thinking of things over the long term. Like I just said before, doing 2 sessions a week for 2 years is going to be better than doing 5 sessions a week for 2 weeks. It just simply is. So avoid having the quick fix mentality. Avoid trying to get places instantaneously if it's not something you can actually sustain long enough to see proper progress. Now, don't get me wrong, I think aggressive fat loss phases can be useful for some people. Some people are able to flick the fucking switch and really just sustain an unrealistic or, I guess, unattainable program for a period of time. But if you have a long way to go, say you have to lose 10 to 15 kilos and you try to take a quick fix approach when you have long fucking work to put in, it's not really going to work. If you're already in pretty good shape, you already have healthy eating habits, you already understand the basics of energy manipulation, sure, you can go and send an aggressive deficit and lose 4 to 5 kilos in a very short time period. But if you don't have that foundation and you're trying to just get a quick fix, it's not going to work for you. So yeah, give yourself a long time. I mean, a good saying is people underestimate what you can do in 5 years. So people overestimate what you can do in a year and underestimate what you can do in 5 years. Like it's that simple. Shit takes time. No matter how good you are, what approach you follow, it will take time. Give time the time. Reference one of my old mentors. She gave me that old saying when I was trying to force business and trying to fucking make shit happen, and you can't just force people to work with you. So you got to give time the time. Yeah. Number 3, and I've already covered this, but everybody falls off the wagon. The people who are successful are the ones who bounce back quicker. Having one day where you fall off the diet is okay as long as that one day doesn't turn into 2 days, and that 2 days doesn't turn into 3 days, and that 3 days doesn't turn into 4 days, and that 4 days turns into you stopping the fucking calorie deficit and diet overall. If you're able to fall off the wagon but jump straight back on it, you're still going to be able to make that process. I don't give a fuck about this shame and this guilt. Instantly fuck that off. Like, it does nothing for you. Being guilty and being shameful genuinely holds nothing to you. Sure, use it as motivation and fuel to do better next time. But if you just hang on to that and be like, oh, I'm a fucking bad person. Fuck. I did this shit and I did that shit. You're never going to be able to actually progress and move through it. You have to be objective. Understand what led you to do, like, fall off the wagon. I guess understand what led you to not stick to the plan. Learn from that mistake. Move forwards. Don't hold the emotion. Don't hold the shame and guilt. It will just make things slower and hold you back for longer. Yeah, be more like objective and be like, oh, I overate here because all day I missed that one meal at that time that I normally eat, which led me more hungry. Work was fast paced, so I was a little bit stressed. So by the time I got home, I was hungry. I'd had a big day and I just wanted to fucking eat some food. Like, start picking up on those things. That'll actually allow you to establish the habits and put in countermeasures to not make that happen again and again. So yeah, understand everybody falls off, and it's your ability to just bounce back and understanding no one is perfect. Aim for consistency, not perfection. You can aim for perfection, but just understand that you're not always going to adhere to that, and it is okay. Cool. Number 4, quality over quantity. Too many people try to do too much shit and instead of focusing on the main quality sources. Now, if you don't have an understanding around what you're looking to achieve, why you're looking to achieve it, it can lead you to do a bunch of random shit. And this is in life in general. If you don't know if you don't know like what career you're trying to build or why you're building a business, if you don't know why you're training or what you're training towards, if you don't know why you're dieting or what your nutrition's actually doing for you, if you don't know why you're walking or trying to get runs in consistently, if you don't have a reason to do fucking things, it's just bullshit. And so many people can try to do so many things at once and there's no clarity, and it leads you to just doing a bunch of shit and getting nowhere. Because there's so many things happening, you can't even sustain it all consistently and even make some proper progress. So, I need a breath after that, god damn. Nasal strips. Fucking hell. So, quality over quantity. Focus on a few key things in your life and in your training and in your nutrition. Let's keep this training nutrition specific. Get clear on your goal, and then focus on a key few things that are going to drive you forwards. For example, if you want to lose 5 kilos and get stronger and build some muscle mass, focus on nailing 3 to 5 gym sessions per week, and focus on learning how to have a healthy relationship with food. And then from there, learn how to track and manage your macros / calories. Once you've learned how to do that and you've created a caloric deficit, then from there, sustain it over a long period of time. Track your body weight multiple times a week. Take progress photos. If things are working, keep doing your thing. If things aren't working, then look at what you're doing, the data, and then make adjustments from there. If you focus on a few quality things, you'll see much greater progress than trying to like juggle everything. It's just how it is. You only have a finite amount of capacity and amount of energy and fatigue available. If you're trying to fucking put a little bit in every bucket, you got nothing to put into anything, and it's going to just be all fucking shit. So focus on a few key quality things. And if you want to achieve a lot of goals and you have this idea that you want to be jacked, you want to be strong, you want to run, you want to be athletic, you want to have multiple businesses, you want to do all these things, focus on a few at a time and phase things out properly, so that you can have phases where the dial is turned up and more focused on certain things, and the other things are back at the maintenance level. And then once you've progressed those to a level you're happy at, switch the focus and turn the dial up here and turn the dial back here to maintenance and start pushing these few areas. And that way you can actually like properly move things forwards. I've recently done this, and I've decided that I'm going to map in a bodybuilding competition next year. So a lot of my training a lot of the shit that I was doing previously is going to go back to maintenance level, and I'm going to be going all in on bodybuilding and hypertrophy training. Right now I'm in a deficit, so a lot of my fatigue is finite. I only have a finite capacity, so I'm being very selective with the tasks I do. I'm cutting out running. I'm not doing much strength training. Like, I'm doing resistance training, but hypertrophy specific. And I'm also like, I'm not eating in a surplus because I'm eating in a deficit. So that's what I'm doing there. Cool. I got 2 more for y'all. This has been a pretty speedy podcast. As I said, I got shit to do, so I'm being speed. Number 5, we have attached your goals to a strong why. This should probably be number 1, to be honest. Like, this should be number 1, because your plan should be dictated by what you're looking to achieve, why you're looking to achieve it, and then we start from there. So it should be your why and your actual goals you want to achieve, and then it should be start small, and then it should be long-term mindset over short-term, and then it should be everyone falls off the wagon, and then it should be, quality over quantity. Yeah, the last 2 should actually be first. The prompts I used with ChatGPT, fucking put it out in this order, but I'm just going to rearrange it. Start with your why, then build out the plan, make sure it's quality over quantity, and then start layering in these, these small wins, long-term mindset, understanding everybody falls off, but just get back on the wagon, that sort of bullshit. So I said this before, but you want to attach your goals to a why. Simple reason, if you have an emotive reason to do something, you're going to be more likely to push through when shit gets tough, because that is going to happen. Ultimately, the things you want, your goals, To reach them, they're most likely going to have phases that are tough and that probably suck nuts. And having the why allows you to just keep fucking sinking your teeth in and gritting them together and getting after it, even when you don't want to. Yeah, the amount of times that I can just think about not wanting to do something, I can instantly think about my why, my reason I started, and that just instant flips the switch, and I just go do the things I need to do. And over time, you get to the point where you don't even like think about it, and it's just so entrenched into who you are as a person that you just fucking get shit done without even worrying about it. So that's the level you can strive for. That's a gold standard. So yeah, you want to have something that's more than, for example, if your goal is lose weight, it's easy to quit if it's just, I want to lose a few kilos. However, if you attach it to something more, like you want to feel confident because when you were younger, you always felt overweight and that led you to feel lesser than all the other kids, and you never felt comfortable in any of your clothes. So you always worn oversized clothing, and for the one time in your life, you want to stand up and feel good in your own skin and put on whatever you wear and feel fucking good. That's a much stronger reason than, I just want to lose a few kilos. That's a much bigger reason. Now, if you say that to that person who has that deeper reason, get off the couch, go train, they're going to be like, oh shit, I probably should. Now, if the other person doesn't have that, they're probably going to be like, fuck it. You know, I've had a big week at work and I would rather eat a pizza right now. That's pretty much what's going to happen. So yeah. A good example here that ChatGPT's got for me, instead of I want abs, think I want to prove to myself that I can build a disciplined lifestyle. And you can layer on top of that even further, you know. The last step that I got here is number 6, is build a plan that fits your life. So once again, we should start with the why. We should then start with the plan. We should then have that plan start small and focusing on quality over quantity. We should then have that long-term mindset and understand that the short-term fix ain't gonna fucking solve nothing. And you should then also understand that everybody falls off the wagon. Your ability to bounce back dictates everything. Let's jump into this without further ado. Yeah, your routine should be something that works for you in your lifestyle. Like I said at the start, there's no good doing 5 sessions a week for 2 weeks. But if you could make 2 sessions a week work for 2 years or the rest of your life, you're much better doing that. That's going to yield much greater progress. If you train best in the morning, set your schedule up around that. If you hate training in the afternoon, don't make yourself train in the afternoon. If you love getting a coffee on a Saturday morning, make sure your nutrition, your diet is set up in a way that allows you to have that coffee on a Saturday morning. If you're going to take away that Saturday morning coffee and that's a huge enjoyment piece of your life, then why the fuck would you stick to that routine? That routine's just going to have friction. The more friction it has, the fucking less likely you are going to stick to it, the less results you're going to get, you're going to fucking be nowhere. Now, like, there is going to be times and phases where you're going to have to cut things out that you don't want to do, but it all depends on your goal. Everything's spectrums. If you want to be a bodybuilder, you're going to have to do some more extreme shit. If you want to just generally feel better, tone up, and live a healthier lifestyle, you probably don't have to cut out them things you like as much. It's probably going to be just make smarter choices. Over here is probably going to be you're actually going to have to restrict yourself and you're not actually going to be able to enjoy the things that you like to because your fucking why is so much deeper and the thing you're trying to achieve is literally forced starvation to hop on stage in your underwear and fucking pose in front of people like a dumb cunt. Yeah, not really, but anyway. So yeah, like I said, your goals will dictate, depending on what end of the spectrum you are, it will be dictated what you do and what your plan looks like. If you have a goal of bodybuilding, you're probably going to have to macro track or follow a fucking meal plan. If you just want to tone up, be healthier, feel better, and get a bit stronger, then you can probably just use like a portioning method and even just eat intuitively and just have more awareness around what a good plate looks like and what a healthy, structured, well nourishing meal looks like, and you can just focus on that. So it's all about meeting yourself where you're at, establishing the plan that works for you, and then just making sure that that plan is in alignment to the goal you have at hand. If you want to lose 5 kilos, be in a caloric deficit. If you want to gain some weight, be in a calorie surplus. But not too much to the point where you gain too much body fat and feel like shit, because no one wants to be a fat fuck. No hate there anyway. I love you all. If you have extra body fat, I'm not talking shit. Sometimes I just say things like that. But yeah, that's consistency. The key takeaways I'm going to get from this right now, I'm going to re-summarize it. Have a why. Have a plan that works for you, your goals, and your lifestyle. Understand that everybody falls off. Your ability to bounce back is what's going to dictate you from the people who don't make it. And understand that shit takes time. Ultimately, you have to just be willing to, you have to be willing to just do something for a long period of time. People overestimate what they can do in a year, underestimate what they can do in 5, even more underestimate what they can do in 10. So be willing to strap in, make the process fun. You know, it is a journey. It has to be enjoyed. At times, it might not be enjoyed depending on your goal, but for the most part, it can be enjoyed. I'm just a walking contradiction right now. I'm going to fucking sign it off here. That's enough podcast. Anyway, this has been the podcast on consistency. Thank you for tuning in. Before I go, I just got to shout out a mate real quick. I caught up with him last week and, you know, it inspired me a fair bit, and I really took away a lot from the conversation. He knows who he is. If he's watching right now and he stayed to the end, shout out. I'm not going to name him just in case, but super proud of him, by the way. He's grown so much, and he's really turning into the person that I think he wants to really be, and it's cool to see that. But he said to me that what I do and the way I live was inspiring to him and some of the boys that I went to school with, which is surprising to me that people like, not so surprising, I'm a bit of a sick cunt to be honest, but nah, I am though, but it was a surprise to hear that I had people looking up to me, especially because sometimes the process is so mundane and you get lost in just going through the motions, and you forget that, you know, what you do on a consistent basis has a bigger impact than just yourself. And if you can really think about that, you living out your life and chasing what you want and getting uncomfortable and going for the things in life that you want to have and building that life, you are actually inspiring other people to do better as well. And you're being that permission piece for them to actually go and get after the things they want in life. So when shit gets hard, attach to your why, but also understand that what you're doing in life is bigger than just you. You achieving your goal could be that one thing that ignites that flame within that other person to go pursue what they want in life, you know? And ultimately that brings up everybody else in the world and brings up the fucking whole of humanity. And if it doesn't bring up humanity, at least it brings up people within your sphere and in your community, which is huge. So you might not notice what you're doing. You might not know that what you're doing is having a big impact, but just keep on going. Just stay consistent, keep on fucking driving. Even when it's hard, just sink your fucking teeth in and keep on gritting, because you are changing more than just your life. You really are. So yeah, keep on going, guys. But that'll do. Life on this podcast. As always, if you enjoyed, share it around to any friends, chuck it up on your socials and tag me. I would fucking love it. If you want to get some Strength Effect merch, in the bio, in the Spotify show notes, or in the YouTube description, or it'll be within my Instagram bio. If you want to work with me, coaching spots are available. 2025, I'm fucking sending it. Books are filling up. This is going to be the year that my books are completely full and I have a bunch of clients fucking killing it. So if you want to get on this train before it fucking steams off and it's uncatchable and it's going at fucking 1,000 kilometers an hour, it is time to jump on. I'm honestly guaranteeing results. If you stick to what I set you and we have good communication and we're able to talk back and forth, collaborate and find the best approach for you, and you stick to what I set and you track your data, I guarantee I can help you fucking achieve a goal. If that's losing 5 kilos, if that's gaining 5 kilos, if that's achieving your dream body, if that's entering a powerlifting competition, if that's building confidence, I fucking have the tips, the tools, the fucking everything to do that. I can take you to your first powerlifting comp. I can take you to build the best physique and go do a photo shoot and feel fucking good in your clothing and tone up, be healthier. Hit me up. I've got energy, I've got passion, and I'm fucking ready to rip in to help some dogs. These are the dogs and I love yous. But yeah. Anyway, as always, I'm signing off, and yeah, I love you. Bye.